Welcome back. Today we have our main star, but we're gonna start off with introducing the side stars.
The side star? They're the main
Sugar.
stars, honestly. Sugar
And
Flora.
Flora. Say hi. Okay, back to our actual star.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes.
Basically, behind the Ways of Wellness magazine is Jawas. Can you please tell us more about your magazine?
So let me tell you a little bit about the background of my magazine. So my magazine is all about health, lifestyle, and nature. So basically ways of wellness. That's something I'm very interested in. Everyone that knows me knows I'm very healthy. I love sports. I love the outdoors. I love taking care of our environment and everything. So I decided making a Ways of Wellness magazine would just fit into my theme because it's what I know most about.
That's very nice. The audience really want to know what kind of hardware did you use for this whole process of your magazine?
So basically for my magazine, I used specifically 3 hardwares. I used my MacBook here for editing, and I used my iPhone for sending the pictures and downloading everything. And I also used my camera, the Canon 4000D, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I'll check back on that.
Okay.
I used that camera, and honestly, everything worked together very well. The camera had a lot of different settings for me to use, and it was very perfect. It matched because I had 4 different photo shoots actually.
Yeah.
And it matched every single different photo shoot, whichever setting I wanted to choose. So
Where do you have most of your photo shoots at? What's the locations?
Most of my locations were outdoors. I used the Pearl, Viva Bahria, to do my front cover photo shoot of the woman meditating. And I used a paddle court to do my double page spread, which is an autobiography on one of my friends who's a professional paddle player.
And I also heard that paddle is your favorite sport?
Of course. Paddle is actually a very big profession of mine, and I hope one day I can go pro.
Hopefully.
So that's exactly why I used paddle. It's something that's very close to my heart, and I wanted to keep my magazine very close to my heart. And what else did I went to Aspire Park for one of my photo shoots when I was supposed to go to Oxygen Park, but I just felt like Aspire had that nature and that greenery that I really wanted to show off in my magazine.
That's very nice. We also wanted to know what kind of softwares did you use?
So for my softwares, I use the Creative Cloud package mostly, such as Adobe Photoshop and Adobe InDesign. Using Adobe InDesign was very important for my contents page creation. In the beginning, I used Canva. Don't get me wrong, I still utilize Canva for my front cover and everything. But for my contents page, I really wanted it to be very detailed, and I want the images to be laid out perfectly with no flaws. So I used Adobe InDesign, which was a more professional piece of software for me to use. Yeah. So Adobe InDesign was very good in my contents page. Photoshop I used for my double page spread to cut out my model, my professional paddle player. And I used it as well for my front cover. There was the picture of my model meditating. There were some flaws that I didn't like, such as pieces of her clothing. So
OCD.
I'm very detailed. So such as pieces of her clothing. So I wanted to Photoshop them out. And I also Photoshopped to refine her body just a bit. And what else? I used HiPic, which is an app I actually found on TikTok, which we'll get into soon. HiPic is a very good filter app that I used. It just made everything much clearer because one of my photo shoots, the lighting was very dull outside. So HiPic really lightened that up. And I also used the Photos app. The Photos app was a very important part in my editing. What else? I used Photoroom. I used Photoroom instead of Photoshop for a part of my double page spread because Photoshop is a little bit tricky. So I used Photoroom to quickly edit out my athlete for my double page spread.
That's very nice. And
Canva.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Canva.
I'm not done yet.
Again?
Canva. Canva is a very important part. I think in everyone's magazine, not just mine. Canva is one of the best softwares to use.
Okay. And lastly, for your online, what have you used?
So for online, I got a lot of my inspiration off of Pinterest and off of TikTok and YouTube. So first of all, I used Pinterest to get the inspiration for my contents page. My contents page layout is something that I was immediately drawn to as soon as I opened Pinterest for inspo. So that was a very important part. And I also used it for other meditating inspiration. and I used YouTube to understand how to work this Creative Cloud package, such as Photoshop and InDesign. I really needed it to get some tutorials because I'm not a professional editor, obviously. So that was a very big help. And what else? TikTok. I got the app HiPic, which is one of my softwares. I got the app HiPic from TikTok. So I would be scrolling and I'd see very scenic images of the beach and of trees and everything. And at the bottom, it would be edited by using HiPic. So that really drew me into the app.
I think that's very creative since like people nowadays don't actually use TikTok to like use it for inspo as their magazine. What made you choose TikTok as an inspo? Like what made it inspire you mostly?
So for me, everyone has a different algorithm on TikTok. Yeah. So my algorithm was mostly nature and beaches and everything to do with summer, which is exactly what my magazine's timeline is based around. So it's summer. So using TikTok was kind of like a click in my head. So I would search up like meditation techniques, health and wellness benefits.
That's very smart.
Yeah. So using TikTok, I stumbled upon my software.
That's very nice. Lastly, what was like your targeted audience when you were making this magazine?
So my targeted audience is mostly adults. It's not really teenagers because I feel like mostly it's
Adults get to a point of.
Yeah, adults get to a point where it's like they need to calm down and they need to reset their mind and everything, and they need to be mindful. So my meditation my meditation front cover and just the professional paddle player's autobiography, it's all just about wellness. So adults are more interested in wellness than teens would be.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you today for Jawa for making us letting.
No, it's fine.
Okay. For letting us interview today. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast and I hope this was a blessing for you.
Thank you so much. And I hope Flora and Sugar enjoyed it as well.
I think they've knocked out. I think it was too boring for them since it's adult based.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sorry guys, we had to cut very quickly. We're not professional interviewers and interviewees.
What's it called? Actually, stop. Okay. Our podcast isn't actually like, formal, so it's like more informal and casual, so it's fine.
Hope you forgive us.
Jawa, why did you use your laptop or your MacBook as your main hardware?
So let me tell you. Basically, my MacBook's been with me my entire life. It's my prized possession. So I'm very comfortable with it. I tried to use an iPad for a bit, but I wasn't really used to it. So my MacBook was perfect for me to use. It let me split my screens read something and then
iPad can let you do that too.
I don't really like iPads. She's just mad because she uses an iPad.
iPad kid.
Anyway, what are you guys doing? Okay. Yeah, back to bed. Good night.
Is that all?
That's all.
Bye guys.
Bye. Thank you.